Here we go, boys. Wyvern 10 on the Europe server. This is my Golem team. I mean, it's not going to be my Golem team, but the plan is to get to Golem 11 with this account. First, I was not planning to farm Wyvern, but I mean, it's much easier for me to do it this way for now. So I'll be farming Wyvern 10 until yeah, I get more gear, get more stats, and also my Golem 11 team. I know this is a Wyvern video, it's just talking about what's up with this account. My Golem 11 team, like, it needs to be all fire heroes. Like, Chaos Sect Axe is not even gonna be in there because it's much easier to gear for when you just use fire heroes. Well, maybe Chaos Sect Axe could be in there, but in terms of what the team needs, it's not pure damage. It's heroes like, I mean, Achates heals the team. She has attack down debuff, cuts their attack in half. Huge deal. And clearing debuffs and then healing, that's also very powerful. The other hero in the team, there's going to be Hazel. Hazel, she's got the unhealable debuff, attack buff, greater attack buff for fire heroes, and also quite a bit of healing, scaling off of her attack. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna boost her attack. Her healing scales off of the target's max health. Yeah, target's max health. Achates her healing scales off of her max health, her own. Ken is so good. Defense down, attack down, debuff, bunch of burn, super helpful, and he's got speed buff on himself. Love the character, an amazing bruiser, an amazing hero overall. And yeah, my fourth is Carmen Rose. Carmen Rose is so good for Golem 11 with that remove debuff on skill 3 plus attack and defense buff on herself. Then you've got skill 2, which reduce combat readiness of the boss, applies speed down debuff, and applies speed buff for herself. Then skill 1 heals her whenever she uses it. Just solid skills. Now, talking about this team, though, for Wyvern, it's working out really well. I lucked out with Camilla from the free summon, and yeah, that was so good. And so many debuffs from this team. Actually, this whole team can apply attack down debuff, which is a huge deal. And got bleed, got burn, got defense down. Cecilia, I called her Camilla. Camilla is from Summoner's War. My bad. Yeah, Cecilia, very strong. She can also wear Aureus, which is another major plus. She applies Barrier on herself. I actually had her in the front line before, but I much prefer her in the back line as a 5-star, and her tanking stats are not that high, especially now that I have boots with 40 speed on her on critical hit stats, so that is more for PvP. But in the backline, she can actually still, well, just holding Aureus, she's already helping in the survival department. But yeah, she can provoke. I mean, we don't really care about that in Wyvern, of course, and the boss is immune to that. But her skill 2 has attack down debuff, that's good. And skill 1, she can land defense down debuff. So if I wasn't using her, I would need the survival of any knight that can wear Aureus, but she can actually do something for the team besides just holding Aureus and looking pretty. So that's good. And Chaos Sect Axe, just an insane damage dealer that provides quite a bit to the team, even though he has high damage, very high damage, dark element, so no elemental disadvantage there. Applies defense down debuff with 100% chance with skill 3 unless it gets resisted. Huge deal to increase the team's damage output against that target that gets defense down applied on itself. and also attack down debuff with skill 2, which is an AoE, and it has 50% chance of happening because I have his skill tree maxed out, which is super helpful. And when he drops below 50% health, he actually heals back up 10% of his health. Can trigger once per turn, which is so good. It's so good. I love that hero. I was fortunate enough to actually pull him very early on. He was my first Moonlight summon, and he was also my second Moonlight summon for some odd reason. But I'm fine with that because that's a memory imprint and some health for the team, which is pretty cool. Wow, he was really close to dying here. I like to have Achates in the front line because, well, she's a 6-star now, but she has quite a bit of defense. Her health is not that high, so yeah, that's the thing though. But she's holding, she's wearing Envoy's, what's the name? Envoy's Pipe, which is reducing the damage output that she's receiving by 15% when she drops below 50% health, which is good because she's taking the damage most of the time. I mean, he's got a lifesteal set. I'll show my gear at the end of the video. He's got a lifesteal set, so he can sustain himself a bit if he's taking some damage, which is cool. From the thing that is cool with Wyvern stage 10 and below is that the boss is attacking random heroes, but I mean, it's mostly the frontline position, but still can attack any hero on the team, which is good, especially when you've got a healer that can heal, that has a team-wide heal, but also when the other heroes are tanky. So when you 6-starring your heroes, it's definitely increasing your chance of success in your Wyvern runs stage 10 or below. Stage 11 is always attacking the frontline position unless you fail to break the barrier, but you only need to apply 2 debuffs in Wyvern 9 and 10. Before that, you just need to apply 1 debuff, and the boss will not do an extra attack, which is super good to increase your team survival. And also, of course, like the increased attack, the permanent attack increase after using Dragon's Might, which is a skill that he will use if you fail to break the barrier. And I love when Achates applies Immortality and the Wyvern attacks her or whoever has it and gets attacked. That's just beautiful. And yeah, she clears those poison effects, which is another major plus. But having all your team tanky is a big deal. But if you're doing Wyvern with the full ice team, which is like if you're planning to do it and you're like you rushed into it, it's so much easier. You just need to do stage 10 right and pass it. You just do it a bunch of times until you pull through. You can use your souls and all that. You don't have to auto it, you just have to pull through. So you have your Angelica that is like super tanky in the front position, or whatever you are using. You could have rolled Tywin and Angelica on selective summon, something like that, and like you've got Tywin in the front line and then you've got Angelica in the backline healing. I mean, you don't even need Angelica. You can use Ether, which I mean, he got buffed, which is really cool. You've got Momorancy that has specialty change now. The game is yeah, getting easier, and we're getting a bunch of gear for free from the Adventurers Path, which is of a huge help to all players. So it is definitely much easier than it used to be before that. And that team is not something you should build for purely for farming Wyvern. Of course, a lot of players don't have Chaos Sect Axe, but it's just to show you guys my progress and how my gear is looking like after 13 days of game time. And I mean, it's 13 total logins. That's where I'm at now. And yeah, that memory imprint 120 health on the other heroes. It's helpful. It's better than nothing, right? So yeah, skill ups first. Chaos Sect Axe, Can, Cecilia, and Achates. Really happy with this team and what they can actually do in the game. So here's the gear on the epic item level 70 Adventurers Path gear. Beside that necklace though, it's on Ken. That's from Season 2 Arena. Hell's Fist, man, so good for Chaos Sect Axe. He's my farmer, and he just destroys adventure. And yeah, players are happy to use him. I'm getting friendship points like 1,000, like, or very close to 1,000 every time, every 8 hours. And look at that necklace, man. Look at that effectiveness. That's so good for Ken. 50% effectiveness. You want 55% in PvE because when they have 70% effect resistance, you want to counter that with 55% effectiveness because 15% cannot be countered. And Cecilia, I mean, yeah, Aureus carrier helps with the debuffs, some extra damage, but she's just there because, I mean, I have her and I use her in PvP and I use her in other areas of the game. But for Golem, it's gonna be Carmen Rose and Hazel taking the spot of Chaos Sect Axe and also the spot of Cecilia, because that, I mean, Cecilia is not gonna be bringing enough to the team for me to bring her. Of course, Aureus is helpful. The provoke doesn't work on the ads. And I mean, it's really nice that they increase the chance to 100% chance with skill ups, 85% when you don't have any. 4-turn cooldown is actually quite good. Only 3 turn on that. The chance is low, but when you're below 50% health or below, chance is increased by 50%. So with skill ups and that, it's like 100%. I believe it's additive from what I understand. And yeah, decreased defense for 2 turns. That's beautiful. So yeah, that's where I'm at in the game. I'll just show you that it's 13 total logins. Carmen Rose wearing that item levels 55 destruction set from the Adventurer's Path, which is actually quite powerful. And I decided to plus 15 these pieces because I'm like, yeah, they rolled so well, they're epic. Only item level 55, but still I had so many enhancing materials when I was like grinding for 6-starring my heroes that I kind of needed to like use them because I was full. And a great carrier of Daydream Joker because of course like crit chance and crit damage is high. And when you're at elemental advantage, if you're using ice heroes, by the way, you only need 85% crit chance. You're getting 15% crit chance for free anytime when you are at elemental advantage. So if you're building a Wyvern team with ice heroes, 85% crit chance is the sweet spot, and 55% effectiveness is what you want for PvE. So yeah, and Hazel, I mean, I don't have great gear on these heroes, only a 5-star. I need to test something on my main account. I completed her specialty change, but from running simulators, it looks like that when I'm gonna upgrade her to Mascot Hazel, she will give, for my team, she will give 28 morale when I camp instead of 30. So I need to test it out to be sure that it's true, and if it still gives the same amount of morale, I will just complete the specialty change. But now I need her for running Labyrinth and Raid, so I will have to be sure first. But the specialty change for 2 morale, I'm gonna have to do it. I mean, it's just I have to grind fire runes. But that's where I'm at, and here's the total logins at 13. Progression has been quite fast, but like if I was rushing for Wyvern 11, I wouldn't need to 6-star so many heroes, and I would be grinding gear, much more gear, which means that yeah, you just need to make your frontline tanky, and that's it, and apply a bunch of debuffs, and you're golden. You're golden in Wyvern 11. Apply 3 debuffs on the Wyvern. If you have attack down debuff, that makes things so much easier, especially if you have a high chance to apply it. And yeah, you just need some good healing output, and you need your front line to be tanky. Prophetic Candlestick on Angelica is usually the deal, the best thing to go for. Have her in the front line and have Ether as backup healer, and yeah, it's gonna be a cakewalk if you can keep those debuffs applied. Maybe it's not gonna be 100% chance early on, but I mean, it's gonna be it's one of the easier way to rush into stage 11 and have it cleared very early on. But you have to plan for it. You have to go for an ice team, and you can't just go with any ice hero. Usually, like rolling for Angelica and Karen is very, very strong early on, and yeah, it does allow you to just get into Wyvern super easily and dish a ton of damage, and you can break the barrier now with the epic level 70 gear. It shouldn't be an issue. You slap Daydream Joker on your damage dealers and you're gonna be golden. So yeah, they did make the progression in this game so much easier from giving us all this gear, which is it's quite cool. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Press the bell icon for like to be notified whenever I release a new video, and check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. Playlist of all sorts: Arena, Guild Wars, guides, tips and how-tos, and Abyss for 62+. So check those out if you haven't. And also Europe progression, bunch of early game tips, but also useful for later on. And yeah, my early progression guide, and so many tips in there. You should check it out if you haven't. And yeah, good luck in all you do in this game. Peace out for now.